evening everybody, Calm Biker here. Recently I've been having a look at a Facebook group called Challenge Accepted, and it's a Facebook group for vloggers, motovloggers, or I suppose it don't have to be motovloggers, but people who've got a motorbike and a camera for sure. I know there's at least one person on there who isn't actually a vlogger who's doing the challenges. And it's a Facebook group where people set challenges, and I will use the vloggers term for short rather than saying vloggers and people who make videos who've got a motorbike. So where vloggers set a challenge and other vloggers go out and do that challenge, and you know, it's a bit of fun, it gives people an idea for videos to make, that kind of thing. So it's worth a look, and you'll see videos with hash challenge accepted in the description or the notes, as you should on this one if I remember to put it in, and then you know it's to do with that group. Now, you don't have to be a vlogger, you don't have to be on Facebook, you don't have to be in that group, although that makes it easier to spread the message. But you can go out and you can do these challenges no matter what. And I thought, seeing as it's fun to do these challenges, it might be equally fun to set one. So I had a look through the list of challenges that are up there to see if the one I can think of is up there, and it isn't. So I thought I will come out this evening and I will set a challenge for everybody, and obviously I'll go and do it myself as well. And the challenge I'm going to set is the emergency stop challenge. So I need to give you a little bit of intro for what the rules are going to be, and then I shall show you. So the first part of the rules, we're doing emergency stops. Now, I half expect somebody to say, well, that's dangerous, you could crash. Well, you could. But of course, if you can't do an emergency stop, that's far more dangerous, because when you need one, if you haven't practiced them, you're not be able to do them. And we don't practice them enough. I, quite honestly, have not practiced an emergency stop in far too long. So, I'm going to practice myself as well, you know. Gotta do what you say, haven't you? So, danger bit out the way. Yes, you might crash, but really you should be practicing these kind of things so that you don't, and so that you can when you need to. So there's my disclaimer. If you crash, not my fault. If you decide to do this challenge, on your own head be it. So, next bit of rulage. You're going to need something like a piece of chalk, or something you can mark the ground with. Chalk is probably the best bet, because you know, it doesn't foul the environment and it washes away nicely, so nobody should be able to grumble. But if you've got half a tennis ball or a cone or something like that, that will do equally well. You're going to be using that to mark where you stop after you do your emergency stop. You're also going to need a tape measure to measure how quickly you can stop, and then you're going to need somewhere safe to do it. So a nice flat piece of land, it can't be uphill, that's cheating. A nice flat piece of land, not gravelly, don't do it in the wet, although you should be practicing the wet as well, but for this challenge it's the dry one. But you need to be able to do it somewhere where you can get up to a reasonable speed, and I wanted to set the speed at 40, but then I thought there are some bikes that are going to struggle in a small space, because you need it to be a reasonably small space, especially if you're putting a camera on the ground. So some bikes might struggle to get up to 40 in a small space, so we'll call it 30. So you've got to find somewhere where you can get up to 30 miles an hour, hold 30 miles an hour for a little bit, and then stop. And then, once you've got all that, you'll actually do your video. And the idea here is, you maybe find a place that is already marked with some kind of obvious mark on the ground. Somewhere where you're going to approach at 30 miles an hour, and when you get to that mark, you're going to stop as quickly as you can. You don't have to brake before the mark, but you brake as soon as you get to the mark. And then, once you've stopped, without moving the bike any further, you put your side stand down, you get off, and you mark the point where your front tyre stopped, the middle of your front tyre where it touches the ground. Okay, and you can do it as many times as you like to practice, because the more practice the better. And whichever is the shortest distance, That's your score. So how's that? I'm going to do it in here, I think. This seems reasonable. And I could use this first speed bump as my 30. So it'll be 30 miles an hour like such. And then stop. And you've got to stop as quickly as you can. And that was far too far. But get your eye in first. Make sure your tyres are warmed up. Make sure your tyre pressures are right. Make sure your bike's ready. All that kind of stuff. You know, be reasonably safe about it. But that's it. So you're just saying how quickly can you stop. You can stop in any way you like. If you're using engine braking, fine. If you're using your rear brake, fine. All that kind of stuff. I'm not. I'm just using my front brake. Because when I get this right, the back brake will have no effect whatsoever other than locking the rear wheel. And a locked wheel is not a good wheel for slowing you down. So that's it. That's my challenge. Now I'm going to do it. So that's going to be my starting point. And from 30 miles an hour, I really hope I can stop in, what, car length, something like that. So I would hope I can stop in, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5.5 metres to this second point here. That's where I hope I can stop it by. It's quite a good one, I think, 30 actually, because it mimics real life, doesn't it? When you're going through a town and some plonker pulls out of a side junction in front of you. Anyway, I'll get set up and then I'll carry on the video. I've got a little tripod and it's absolute junk. But I've set my little camera up there down this line. That's that second line that I said I should be able to stop by. So forgive the second angle. It's hopeless because the tripod can't cope with the camera and it's trying to fall over. It's definitely more for a phone, I think. Alrighty. So, first attempt. I don't know how many attempts I'm going to have. Probably enough that the video isn't hopelessly long. Oh, that was terrible. The problem there is I think you need more run-up speed. So you can get the bike nice and stable at 30 rather than trying to hunt to 30 and then get it suddenly stopped. Better. That's the line I thought I could stop by. So what I would do at this point is get it in neutral, stand down, brakes still on, so nothing's moving. Where's my bit of chalk? Don't say I forgot my bit of chalk. There's my bit of chalk. And then, bit of chalk. Can't find it. Come on, bag. The get a chalk out of a bag challenge. The centre of the tyre. So that's my best so far. And then we just carry on. Carry on as often as you like till you get your best one. And show us your best one and some of your practices. And then once you've got to your best one, that's when we'll measure it. So I'm going to do a few more. Because that one I'm not happy with. But I've now got a chalk mark to aim at. Okay, 30 and... Ah, well, that one, too much. Front brake locked up. So, less than that is needed, or I need to get that weight on the front wheel better, because obviously didn't have enough weight on the front wheel before I slammed the anchors on there. I'm going to add one more rule that I forgot to mention, because it kind of feels not fair. If you've got ABS, I'm not suggesting you turn it off, But I think it's only fair that if ABS kicks in, and I've got to trust you on this one, but if ABS kicks in, then you've got to let us know, and that one can't count. Because it's supposed to be a test of you, not of your ability to just slam the anchors on and wait for the ABS to get you out of trouble. That's more like it. We'll have that one. That's my third attempt. We'll have that one there. What's that then? 2 bike lengths. And I'll have a couple more goes off camera, unless I get one that's better. Hopefully you get the gist of this. Rubbish. Well, I've had a few more goes and I've not quite managed to beat my my third attempt, so I'm going to pull up after this one and we'll measure it and see how we've done. 30 and stopped, but I didn't beat it. There you go. I shall stop there. And then the next job, nice and easy one. We're measuring. Where's my tape measure? There it is. I thought I hadn't brought my tape measure then. We're measuring from the best mark to wherever we got to. Or wherever we started, I should say. I'll put that down there. Just straighten it. Not long enough. Straighten this out. Straighten that up to the mark. Almost dead on 5 metres. So there you go, 5 metres from 30 mile an hour. I'm sure if I practiced a bit better I could do better. But this is what it's all about, isn't it? So there's your challenge. Hope a lot of you try it. Let me know how you get on. Thanks for watching, everyone. Ride safe. Oh, and remember, hashtag challenge accepted in your notes. And if you're on Facebook, post it to the group. So thanks for watching, everyone. Ride safe. And I'll talk to you all again soon.